Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to another video. We're going to cover Titanfall 2, and we're going to talk about the patch notes for the new Operation Frontier Shield. So what you guys can see now is the Titanfall 2 forum. They have the patch notes up. They were posted not too long ago. I think it was yesterday their time, or pretty much this morning I woke up and saw it. So let's go over some of this stuff, because I think for the Titanfall 2 community that we have on this channel, quite a few people are going to find some changes that are either going to be very good or very frustrating. So let's get into this. Okay, so getting into the patch notes, what has been changed and what's going on with the game as it stands now. So there are some game improvements, and they've added more out of bound triggers to complex, new stats page for maps, including tracking for frontier defense difficulty levels, and improved visuals for weapons and Titans stats pages. So the other thing, Titan balances in general, the Ogre class Titans now have a baseline of 1 dash with a 10-second cooldown. So that means, I guess would be Scorch and Legion now have a dash, whereas they didn't before, but it has a 10-second cooldown. Turbo Engine, which was the thing that gave you the dash if you wanted to have that before, but you know they didn't have it. So Turbo Engine now reduces the cooldown of Scorch and Legion's dash to 5 seconds instead of 10, and it will still behave the same as before for other Titan classes. Overcore, thing that gave you so much of your super, is now gives you 20% core meter. I believe that's down. The electric smoke now unlocks at 20% instead of 25%, so you'll be able to use your electric smoke a bit more. Ronin sword block damage is reduced by 5%. Scorch will now have 1 dash charge with a 10-second cooldown, increases firewall width. Scorch kits wildfire launch now increases the direct hit damage of the thermite launcher, and it still increases the amount of fire spread. Scorch Earth's lingering fire lasts longer. Tempered plating now makes Scorch immune to crits and his own thermite damage. I think that's really, really big. Scorch is definitely going to come up a lot in this new patch. And then they fixed a bug with Flame Core not igniting incendiary traps. So I think Scorch is really going to come up. I'm probably going to be playing Scorch a lot in the new DLC. And I can't wait to try him out. I always liked Scorch, and the fact that now he has a boost, I think is really going to bring Scorch up a lot. Legion also having a boost is good, but they play, I think Scorch and Legion play very differently, although their roles are somewhatly similar, but they handle very, very differently, and I'm very much looking forward to Scorch. Now the changes that come with Legion will now have 1 dash charge, same as Scorch, and have the hidden compartment power shot has 2 charges, and power shot damage is reduced by 15%. So Legion's power shot used to do a lot of damage, especially on these smaller Titans. Having it reduced by 15% I think is quite a lot. We'll have to see how that plays out, if it is still balanced or if it's kind of nerfed into the ground and they've gotten rid of that. But I think you know, Respawn knows what they're doing, so it'd probably be okay. But if not, I'm sure they can always go back and fix it. Now Monarch, the XO16 base magazine size is increased to 40 rounds, so that's good. I always kind of complained about Monarch not having enough bullets. You felt like you were always reloading, so having more ammo I think is pretty good. They reduced the strength of the slow effect of the energy siphon, slightly reduced effectiveness of arc rounds against vortex shield and heat shields, and then multi-targeting missile system no longer locks onto cloaked targets. So keep that in mind. Cloak, I think with this new update, is really going to come into its own, especially against people who like to use those kind of lock-on mechanics for the game, because they won't work anymore. Now getting on to pilot balancing, before I ruin everything about Cloak. Aim assist settings, and I think we definitely need to talk about this. Aim assist settings have been modified for assault rifles and SMGs. ARs and SMGs require you to be aiming closer to your target before any aim assist takes effect. All right, so before any aim down sight aim assist takes effect, you will have to be much closer. So shooting people from across the map is going to be quite a bit harder, I believe, if you're relying on aim assist. So they reduce the overall effectiveness of aim down sight assist for assault rifles. Keep that in mind. Assault rifle users, ADS aim assist has been reduced. Titan Hunter Kit modifier to be 10% extra Titan meter for damage instead of 10% Titan meter on the Titan kill. So the Titan Hunter Kit mod, okay, if you have that, damaging the Titan is going to give you more meter, whereas before you got meter for the kill, more for the kill than even for the damage. So this is going to probably help out with doing damage to Titans even faster and getting you your stuff back even quicker. So we'll see how that all plays out. Now the other thing that people need to know about is that phase shift now only has one charge, but it recharges faster. How much faster? Don't know, but supposedly it recharges faster. SMG's medium to long damage is significantly reduced. So this means you're going to really have to get in close and be good with your movement if you want to use SMGs, period. One of the positive changes that we saw in the high time to kill playlist was that the increased weapon diversity. It is our hope that between the aim assist nerf and the SMG nerf, we'll see weapon diversity increase across all three platforms. We will see. That's all I can say about that. The G2 reduced the rate of fire. Thank you, finally. I've always thought the G2 was ridiculously strong. It's accurate, it's fast, and it hits hard, and you can spam it from pretty far away pretty quickly. So good to see how this reduction goes. I want to see how far it is reduced. The DMR reduced the rate of fire as well. In this particular instance, they felt that the reduction simply made it perform better, as it stabilizes a lot better between shots. We will see. I will test it out. I've always hated the DMR. I didn't think that it performed really well, and maybe it was because of I don't know. Maybe yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll leave my comment on that one alone. The flatline slightly reduced damage at medium range, and this is still the best medium range damage of any assault rifle. So flatline is still going to be good in the medium, but it did get a nerf. Archer no longer locks onto cloak targets. Smart pistol no longer locks onto cloak targets. I'm stumbling over my words. And sidearms, high time to kill. Playlist changes for the P2016, the fast firing pistol. The Wingman Elite, and the Mozambique have been brought over to bring their power level down now that all pilots can carry a secondary weapon. So the pistols pretty much got nerfed, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess we'll see. For high level play, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are really good with the pistols, so yeah, it's probably pretty good. Now I think this is going to be the center of a lot of discussion: melee. The lunge time and melee hit frame changes to 0.3 seconds from 0.2 seconds, and this will help people firing weapons, particularly automatic weapons, get extra shots in before the lunge completes. So people with lag, you may find yourself getting killed more than you did before. Melee lunge range is reduced. That is also a thing, so you may find yourself swinging at the fences a lot more. Non-lunge melee attacks increased. This will help in the case where melee looks like it should be hit but doesn't connect with the target. So if you are close up and you've been swinging on people and going through them, I have experienced that many times, then this should fix that. But that lunge thing is reduced, and the time for the lunge has been extended. That's going to be huge for a lot of people who rely on melee. Junior, I'm looking at you. All right, so game mode adjustments, various improvements to the UI, private matches, including increased visibility of text chat on PC, miscellaneous bugs. They fixed issues with purchasable nose arts, blah, 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 and Titan nose art flagged, as advocate gifts unlock may now actually be rewarded or awarded when opening advocate gifts. So if you had some Titan nose art that wasn't falling for you in the advocate gifts, maybe now they will. I'm looking forward to that and hoping that they did fix it. I didn't know that was a bug. I thought that was just the way it was. You just had to keep grinding, but it's good to hear that. So maybe now we can get some of those nose arts that are supposed to be gifts sooner rather than later. There are 2 new maps that are coming with this DLC. The first one is called Rise, and as it states in the patch notes, long sight lines and tight quarters dictate the battle in this abandoned desert reservoir. The towering sheer walls and a system of convenient zip lines provides pilots with means to get around quickly while Titans do battle in the long corridors below. Pilots can also set up ambushes in the guts of this complex pipeworks, while Titans can lock down large sections of the battlefield at critical junctures. Tread carefully. All right, so that's going to be one of the new maps. Sounds like it's going to be pretty crazy. Maybe a big map. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be as big as that last one, but it seems like it might be pretty big. The next one is for live fire. It's going to be called Township. A new modular construction of residential firefight. Cover is sparse for pilots bold enough to leave the safety of a few houses. Windows and rooftops decide who controls the map, but dense interiors can always hold surprises. So this seems like it's going to be a kind of I want to say campy. I guess there's no other really word for it. It's going to be like a semi-campy map because there aren't going to be too many places for people to just run around out in the open. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully there are multiple levels that people can hide in, but you know, it is Titanfall, so there should be, so we'll see. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the changes that are coming with Titanfall's new DLC. I don't know how I feel about some of the changes with ARs, but I guess we'll have to see. I need to find out what the aim assist is going to be like. It probably will be okay, and I think a lot of good players will adjust, but I think it's going to increase the technical difficulty of the game for some newer players. But I guess we'll see how it all pans out. What is it that you're most looking forward to? What is it that you're most disappointed with these changes? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. And that will pretty much do it for this video. I am Khan, Mr. So Real. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.